Hi Esther, my name is Gwendolyn. I'm going to be looking at your essays today. First of all, thank you so much for getting the sentence guide course. Really great to see that you are interested in improving your English writing. More importantly, that you're open to getting some feedback on the areas that you need to focus on to get that 7.0 or higher on the IELTS exam. Before we get started, I have 3 questions for you. The first question is, I wanted to know if you've taken the IELTS before, and if so, what score you got. Second question is, do you have a date booked to take the IELTS exam? And if so, what score do you hope to get? And then thirdly, it would be really helpful for me to know why you want to take IELTS. Are you hoping to immigrate? Do you want to study abroad? Are you trying to get a different job abroad? Whatever the reason is, that would be really helpful for me to know. If you can answer those 3 questions in your next email, that would be great. The reason I want to know is I just want to know where you're at in your own mind, and then also where you want to get to and why. Very important elements in goal setting, and I want to know what your goal is so that we can do our best to help you achieve that goal. Okay? If you can do that, that would be really great. So let's go ahead now and look at your task 1 or your task 2 here on doing an enjoyable activity with a child. Esther, I thought you did a fantastic job here of answering the task response. You gave 2 very different ideas and examples to back up your point of view, which is great. I thought it was a very clear and coherent essay. You had a fantastic range of vocabulary throughout, some really high-level words, which will do, I think, which will be great for you on your lexical resource score. Overall, a really good essay. I think, as with most ESL students, there's always some grammatical issues we need to fix. So let's go ahead and read through it, and I will focus on that and see where we need to improve in our grammatical grammar and sentence structure area. Okay. Actually, the other thing I want to improve on, Esther, is your word count. So I think you wrote 293 words. The minimum is 250. We suggest the maximum 275. Beyond 275 words, it is unlikely that the examiner will read your essay. So your writing here, words, would be a waste of time, which you could spend that time writing maybe your task 1 essay. Also, you know, if the examiner cannot read your full essay in that amount of time, they may not be able to fully mark your coherence and your cohesion and your task response, which can reduce your score. So I will also, when I read through this, try to think, give some suggestions of ways we can take out some phrasing just to reduce your word count, you know, by 20 words or so. Okay? In the past, children implemented reading as a technique to develop skills. However, nowadays, it is most common seen the incorporation of amusing activities such as playing sports and video games as a mode of improvement. It's just a couple grammatical things we need to fix here in this sentence. The main thing we need to fix here, Esther, is your word ordering to make the coherence and cohesion sound correct. So here we would say, however, comma, nowadays, the incorporation of amusing activities, comma, such as playing sports and video games, comma, is more commonly seen as a mode of improvement. In fact, so that's a lowercase f, many researchers, so this is a tricky one, a lot of ESL students get this one wrong. Research is already research is a already collective noun, so you can't make it plural by adding es to it. It's just one of those strange ones. There's a list of them but this is one of them. So you could say here, instead of many, you could say various research has shown that enjoyable activities facilitate the learning process, promoting the evolution of new skills. This essay will explain this theory by providing examples. Good introduction, some good vocabulary in here. Evolution, facilitate is really good. Technique, incorporation, and using, some great vocabulary. Let's move on. To begin with, good transitional phrase. It is widely known that some competencies, you have competencies, check your spelling there. And you've done this twice where you put your comma for such as. You did it here and you did it here. The comma comes here. So competencies, comma, such as, no comma. So yeah, comma, such as coordination, synchronization, and teamwork, comma, are only developed by action. For instance, playing sports improves these abilities and also supports the learning process. We don't need a comma here as well, we can take that out, and also supports the learning process in other disciplines. Indeed, in the specific case of autistic children, studies have shown that 80% of the specialists in this field recommend swimming as a critical activity for their improvement, based on the concept of learning has to be enjoyable, thus supporting the insight that amusing activities, comma, such as playing sports, comma, are the precursor of learning. Good. I thought a very good paragraph here. Great idea. Fantastic example. And a really lovely range of vocabulary. You know, coordination, competencies when it's spelled correctly, synchronization, autistic, critical activity, improvement, using insight, precursor of learning. Good. Some good language in there. Let's move on. Additionally, imagination is considered as an. Usually if we use an article in front of a word that has a vowel, we use an instead of a. As an essential ability that has to be enhanced in the early age and leads to other skills, comma, such as, no comma, the understanding of objects' interaction. Yeah, I don't know if I'm just trying to think, I don't know if we should include this or not. The understanding of objects' interaction, which is technical terminology, is spatial reasoning. I like it, but then I'm also trying to think of ways we can reduce some of your word count here. It's not necessary to be that specific, so maybe I would just take it out. And the main reason here is just to reduce your word count down. Indeed, all the technical engineering careers require it. For example, recent studies by Harvard University, so the university is also capital U here. Recent studies by Harvard University have demonstrated that this is other sort of intelligence and can be developed by playing games. Maybe you could, maybe here's where we could add that terminology. This is a little awkward here, so how would we fix that? So, for example, recent studies by Harvard University have demonstrated that this is another, A-N-O-T-H-E-R, another sort of intelligence, and can be developed by playing video games. Yeah, I think just changing that to its correct form, another, fixes that. The understanding of situations, solving problems, collateral effects, solving problems and collateral effects. So when we have a listing, the last in the list has the and before it, and collateral effects, are examples of abilities that are covered by spatial reasoning. Thus, comprehending that recreational activities lead to improved, with a D, specific skills that are indispensable for the future. Having read through the rest of this paragraph, Esther, I would take out this section as well. So we're taking out that and that. I'm not sure this addition of saying that technical engineering careers require it is not relevant to the task response, and you don't really reference it again in your the rest of your paragraph. So I would take that out, and I think from that will reduce your word count down quite a bit. From the facts mentioned above, it is clear it is clear that I would take out it is clear, this phrasing here, it loses some coherency. It is clear that enjoyable activities, comma, such as playing video games and sports, improve unique competencies that are unable to be developed by reading. This will remain in the foreseeable future. Good. Overall, very good essay. Let's look at your second test too, family communication. Great, Esther. I just paused to read through your second essay on family communication. I thought you did a good job with the task response here. You gave two very different ideas and examples to back up your point of view, which again is great and what we want to see in the IELTS exam. The more different your ideas and examples can be, the more points you'll get on your score. Let's go ahead and just read through it. My comments are pretty much the same as the first one. The mode of communication has drastically changed in the past few decades. The modes, I think we need the modes, plural, talking about more than one type. The modes of communication has drastically changed in the past few decades. This is due to the incorporation of new technology and also because the modification in citizens' routines. Notwithstanding, this has positively affected the interaction among family members. The next essay, so I think we need to say this essay will elaborate more on this perspective by providing clear examples. Again, some great vocabulary in here. Perspective, notwithstanding, incorporation, good. Drastically is also good. Now here, again, I would like to see some sort of transitional phrase here. To begin with, communication has been promoted by many sources. Yeah, I'm not... Maybe promoted isn't the right word. Maybe enhanced is the right word. Promoted doesn't seem to be the most accurate word there. I think we could say to begin with, then we don't need our article there. To begin with, communication has been enhanced by many sources. Yes, that's much better. However, among the most is social networking sites, which offer, instead by offering, that becomes an incomplete sentence. So, which offer, no ing, different possibilities that can be adapted to everybody. Some examples are Facebook, Skype, and then here again, when I mentioned in the other essay, when you have a listing of 3, before the last one on the list you do and WhatsApp. You add that word and, the conjunction. Facebook, Skype, and WhatsApp. These have reinforced the relationship between individuals, even for those who are physically separated from their relatives. Indeed, 40% of no article there. Indeed, 40% of Venezuela's population are immigrants, and 33% of this group has claimed to use social networking sites to interact with their family members. So what you have here is 2 complete sentences, and you can't join them just with a comma. You need to add some sort of conjunction here, and that's where the word and comes in. And 33%. And we just didn't need our article there. Thus explaining that communication between relatives has improved. Furthermore, good, I like this transition much better. Furthermore, life expectancy has evolved into a new concept influencing note in there influencing the style of interaction. I would say today people, and then take out the rather, today people work less hours. We don't need to say amount. Today people work less hours and have more leisure time to spend with their family, thus enhancing their communication. So not grammatically correct the way it is, but if you add that word thus, the preposition thus there, it becomes correct, thus enhancing their communication. For instance, working from home has increased in popularity. Again, you've combined two sentences, complete sentences with just a comma, and you need to either separate that with a semicolon, and that's the dot and the comma, or two new sentences. So I would say, for instance, working from home has increased in popularity. Full stop, new sentence with a capital T. This is a consequence to the possibility to be closer to their acquaintances. Certainly 3 out of 4 workers, plural, prefer to use this mode of work, finding that family is the most important in their life. So just a note here on numbers, so any numbers under 10 you need to write out as words, so THREE and FOUR. Thus reinforcing the insight that today no article is needed there. Today communication among family members has increased. From the facts mentioned above, communication has grown in importance over the past few years, being supported by technology advances and because the modification in the way of living. Good. Esther, great job on this essay. Just a few grammatical things. What I would like you to do is create what we call an error list. This is a list of all the mistakes that you made or the areas that we need to improve on. And I want you to correct these 2 essays with the suggestions given. I want you to go ahead and watch the next set of podcasts and then write the next 2 set of essays. And then get back to me in one email, Esther, your error list, your corrected essays, and then your 2 new essays. Okay? I hope you have a fantastic weekend wherever you are. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to seeing your next essay soon. Bye for now, Esther.